Okay. Very first BuildWitt live stream. Here we go. We'll see how this goes. It's just me here at the office, Nashville, Tennessee. Usually I have people, very qualified people helping me out. But to set this one up, I went to YouTube. I figured it out myself. I just wanted to get this out on Saturday since there's no video again, but wanted to keep everybody in the loop as far as what the heck is going on, what's coming at the end of this year, since we've got just a month left for 2025. And we've got a big year coming up for 2026. So again, wanted to keep everybody in the loop. Feel free, you can jump in the chat. We can have a conversation. Again, see how this goes. It should be fun. If you have questions, comments, jump in there, add it, and we can talk. To explain what the heck is going on, again, we haven't had a video in a few weeks. First off, we changed the team earlier this year. Hello, James. We changed the team earlier this year. Over the past few years, it's either been one or two people with me traveling the world, recording all of the videos that you see, and then editing those videos back home. It's been a very small team. We've called it the influence team. We, as a business, BuildWitt, which is the greater business, we also have a bigger media team. And historically, that media team was focused on videos for construction and mining companies for the sake of marketing. I'll get to the comments in a moment. That video team was focused on marketing first, and then they've gotten into training. So we've produced about 2,000 training videos for the civil construction industry that are available on a software platform called BuildWitt Improve. That's how we make our money. We're a software company. We have an event as well called the Area Dirt World Summit. And that's how I'm able to travel the world. I don't do the traditional influencing. We don't have companies paying us to come out. We don't have big brands sponsoring us other than Ariat. That's the only sponsorship deal I've ever done because they've been a great supporter. So we have an overall business that's helped support this. What I do is called influence, that builds trust with the industry to then grow our business so we can build the dirt world's next generation. And it gives the industry, such an important industry, construction and mining, the credit it deserves, because everybody doing the work, they don't get the credit that they should for keeping society going. So that's our goal here, is to, one, get the industry the credit it deserves, two, attract the next generation, and then three, grow our primary business, BuildWitt, which allows us to do more storytelling and allows us to develop the next generation alongside civil construction companies in America. Now, going back to where the team was before, we had a small influence team, which was great, but it was constrained. We just didn't have the resources necessary to execute the storytelling at the level we wanted to. So a few months ago, I made the change to dissolve the small influence team in favor for the greater media team. So now we have a greater media team, about 10 people full-time, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. I'd have to count in my head. But that greater team now supporting not just our training videos, but our YouTube videos. So as I travel going forward, I'll have two people with me. They'll vary depending on the shoot, depending on where we're going. And then we have a team of editors back home editing the videos, which is really exciting. So we're working through what we've already shot. There's still some Australia videos coming, but we have a completely new way of doing things going forward. We've learned so much about YouTube. It's been painful. I have been the hang up for many years because I've tried to be the subject matter expert, but there's a lot to it that I now respect, and involving legitimate professionals in the process should get us much better videos for you all on a weekly, if not twice weekly basis into next year. So that's what the heck the team change is. Again, our business, BuildWitt, that's what makes this thing go round. We have a greater business. So people often ask, how do you do this? Why do you do this? How do you make money? We make money through a software product, BuildWitt Improve, back in the States, but I travel worldwide to educate people about the dirt world and to position myself as an industry subject matter expert to then guide our business better and hopefully make a bigger impact down the road. Um, so that's what the heck is going on behind the scenes. That team change, we've had some things to work through, but we have a ton of videos in the works. I'll get to that in a moment, what is actually coming. Before I get to that, though, we are going to make a change to the channel name from my name, Aaron Witt, to the company's name, BuildWitt. I think it's much better. We've operated under the BuildWitt name for 8 years, almost 9 years. And I think that change is going to be much better. I don't want it to be all about me. That was never the intent. I'm obviously the host of the videos. I'm the one exploring whatever the heck makes me curious, but it's not about me. So I think removing my name from the channel and focusing it on the greater BuildWitt brand is going to be best for everybody. And that should be coming in the next few weeks. Now, videos in the works. Obviously, there haven't been videos for the past few weeks, but this coming Saturday, we should have one finally approved. In the community tab, for a few times this year, I have said we haven't had any videos approved. And people have also asked, what the heck does that mean? Well, all the videos, the access we get is because each company we visit has the opportunity to review and approve it. Very rarely are there any significant changes, if ever. They're typically just looking for minor things from a visual standpoint, minor things from a safety standpoint. We want each company we visit to have a seat at the table. This isn't a gotcha program. We want them to look good because that's our goal, to make the dirt world look good. But depending on the project, depending on the video, depending on the country, that review process can take a long time, sometimes months, to finally get everybody in the one room and agree that this is an okay video. And when it's not done right, that's when videos are taken down. A lot of you have also asked, where did this video go? Where did that video go? Well, when a video disappears, it's because someone wasn't involved in the approval process that we didn't know about typically before, and we've had to take the video down. Sometimes we've worked through those issues. Sometimes there are videos that are just dead. That's been probably 10 videos this year. It's very frustrating. We're trying to avoid that for next year, but that's what's going on behind the scenes. So we can't just publish videos as we edit them because, again, we like every company to look at them beforehand. And that gives us the great access that we have to crazy construction projects, mining projects, et cetera. It's not editorial. It's just really from a safety, compliance, risk standpoint. So coming up, what we have in the works, I have my sheet right here. The first video that should be out this coming Saturday is about trash, which I am very excited about. We visited with Casella up in Vermont in the United States to follow a trash from the curb into a trash truck, into a transfer station, to a landfill. It's an awesome video. I've wanted to make one of these videos since I was a child in love with the trash truck. So that should be coming this coming Saturday, about landfills, trash, and how that works. Next up, one of our Australia visits, Rio Tinto, with their bauxite mining operation in northern Queensland. That video is done on our part. It is in the approval process for Rio Tinto, and we should get that back within the next few weeks. Very exciting. Bauxite mining, northern Queensland, super remote. It was a great time. Next, we have New York utilities. We, about 6 weeks ago, went downtown Manhattan, New York City, with a utilities contractor to show you all what it takes to build anything underground in one of the world's hardest places to build. So that's a great video. It's done. It's in the approval process as we speak. And then in July, we went to some coal mines out in Indonesia. We did a video with one of the big mining companies out there, Dharma Henwa, about the mining process, and that is in the review process as well. That should be out within the coming weeks. And then in the editing process here, We have another video on drag lines. We visited with NACO recently in North Dakota, coal mining, some of the biggest earth movers in the world, to show you all in a more in-depth way what it takes to keep drag lines going and what it takes to operate those drag lines. We have a video coming on fixing a bulldozer. I spent a day with a Caterpillar technician here in Middle Tennessee fixing a broken track. I didn't do anything, but the technician did the work, and we're going to show you how it all happened. That's a very good video. Two more in the works under the review process. We've got heavy haul in Queensland, Australia. We caught up with a company, Centurion Moving, Komatsu's biggest mechanical drive loader, a WA1200, to a new coal mine. We show you the whole process of transporting one of the world's biggest loaders. And then we checked out another Liebherr 9800 in the mineral sands of New South Wales, Australia. And this machine is really unique because it has the world's biggest excavator bucket on it. It's an absolute unit, and that's going to be an awesome video as well. So that's what's in the works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 videos, either far along in the editing process or being reviewed now. So we have a bigger backlog than we've ever had before, which is really exciting. And then we should have additional videos like draglines, for example. We have a ton of footage from the dragline video that we can put together in a new video without me talking, without anybody talking, just showing the machine at work, which should be coming soon as well. I'm not going to get too far into 2026, but the final shoot of 2025, I'll be leaving in a week for the United Arab Emirates to go visit some projects out in Abu Dhabi and Dubai. And we'll have, I think, a 3 to 4 part video series on the Middle East and construction out there, which should be awesome. I've only done a little bit from a YouTube standpoint, very informal. This will be the biggest and best video series we've done in that region since. So I am really excited to get on with that. And that'll be out early in 2026. So that's what's in the works right now. That's what's coming. Again, just wanted to give everybody a video update. Now we can see what the heck is going on in the comments before I wrap up here. Thanks for all the love here. Your editors should all live in the Philippines. I'm sure there's some great editors in the Philippines, but I'm a big believer in working with the people that do the editing. We have a great team, world-class team. I've worked with most of them for years now at the company. And they haven't edited YouTube videos yet, but they're getting really good. I'm really excited. And that's part of the fun too, is just working alongside other people on ideas, or what if we tried this, or what if we did that. And I think that'll be apparent in the coming videos. There's just more people involved now, which means there's much better ideas. Too often it's just been me. And honestly, I'm good at a certain topic, but not great at putting a whole video together. But we have great people to do that. And so, again, hopefully the coming videos are just much, much better because we have more people involved and they're all very talented. And obviously Americans, since they're here in the States where we're based. Happy holidays. Someone asked, how did I get started? Software background turned solopreneur. I got started at 18 years old as a laborer in the construction industry. There was a construction project in my neighborhood when I was a senior in high school, 17 years old. My dad was a lawyer. I didn't grow up around construction at all, but I was checking out this construction project and thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. So I called the company and I asked for a job, and they gave me a job as a laborer. So 18 years old, summer, Phoenix, Arizona, really, really hot every day. Me and a bunch of Mexican guys, first time ever on a job site. And at that point, I fell in love with construction and knew it was my thing. So the owner of that company gave me 2 other pieces of advice. He said, go to engineering school. So I went to engineering school at Arizona State. I got an engineering degree. And he said, go try a bunch of stuff. And that's what I did. So in my time in school, I also worked. I worked at 5 different companies in 4 different states, doing anything from pipeline work to railroad work to blasting work. After I graduated when I was 22, I moved to Texas in road construction. I was going to be a contractor. But at that point, I started posting on Instagram, which is where I'm probably most active. If you don't follow on Instagram, that's where I post every day what the heck is going on in my life typically. Started posting on Instagram under BuildWitt just to educate people about what the heck happened in the construction industry. And it really took off. So when I was 23, I quit my job in construction. It was short lived. I moved back in with my parents to tell stories in the construction industry full time. Over the next few years, I ended up with a marketing business with about 20 people full time working within the company. We were serving civil construction companies all over the United States, but we wanted to have a bigger impact. We always have. We want to build the dirt world's next generation. And it's the biggest issue, workforce. We want to have a big say in how that next generation is trained and developed. So the natural progression then was software, because software allows us to go impact hundreds of thousands of people, thousands of companies, and we just couldn't do that from a storytelling standpoint. So we have an awesome software team. We have an awesome leadership team. I don't do a majority of the leadership or guidance from a software standpoint. I leave that to other brilliant people. My job is influence. My job is traveling the world, visiting different construction projects to tell the industry story and build our brand. And that is what I focus on. So that's a little bit about my background. Ironman races next year. I'll probably do Louisville half Ironman again, and then Chattanooga full Ironman again. I got a new triathlon bike finally. I saved up a lot of time for it. I was hit by a car 2 months ago, which cracked the bike frame, unfortunately. I am in the middle of the insurance process to get payment for a new bicycle, and then I'll have a new bike. And I think I'll be able to put up some awesome times. Anybody that follows along knows that I train every day, no matter where I am. I started running full time every day when I started the business. Honestly, just keeps me sane. It settles me out. If I work out first thing every day, it's like wringing out the rag, and I'm pretty chill. I'm pretty mild mannered. I can deal with just about anything at that point. If I don't get it out though, I'm an absolute mess. So no matter where I am, I at least have a pair of shoes running. You can do it anywhere, in any country, in any city, anywhere you are. And I do. So like, for example, I'll be going to the UAE, United Arab Emirates, next week. I'll have a pair of shoes. I'll be running every day, training every day, and then racing next year as always. South Africa, looking forward to more dirt videos from South Africa. Yes, we are in the preliminary stages of planning a visit to South Africa and Africa for next year. I was hoping to go this year, but the business, I do have to help run the company. I can't just run around the world on YouTube full time. That's like my part-time job. So the business was just not a place where I could leave for a few weeks earlier this year in May. Had to cancel the trip, but next year, hopefully going to South Africa and other places in Africa. That is very high up on the list. I've always wanted to see work out in Africa. What happened to the data center video? That again is an example of a great video that was approved by everybody we thought was in the process. And yet when it went live, a lot of people see it because we have a lot of exposure nowadays, and someone somewhere saw it. They didn't like it, and they said, take it down, which then went through the contractor, which then got to us. Now, could I tell them to go kick rocks? Technically, I could. But that's not in anybody's best interest. I am really trying to build a great reputation in the industry. I am trying to push against a lot of the nonsense that's in the industry, but in a deliberate way. And I think that it's just not a fight worth having. So we took it down. It was really unfortunate. I've tried to get it back up 10 different times, 10 different angles. I'm still working on it. If that one doesn't go up, I'll find another data center somewhere that will have us on. It's really unfortunate. the data center jobs in America, they're the biggest earthworks jobs almost ever in modern times in the States, and yet they're all very closed off to any kind of media whatsoever. A lot of them are controversial, and I think that's why they're closed off. It's really unfortunate. But yeah, that's a great example of a great video that we were very proud of, that we were very excited about, that people loved, that we had to take down because somebody somewhere didn't like it, and it's just the unfortunate reality of the world we operate within. I work at the crusher at the Ray mine here in Arizona. I'm from Arizona. Thanks for making it happen out there. I think that's a Sarco. Really cool. Copper. I would love to see more of the aftermarket on companies who service and repair machines. So much talent outside of the major OEMs. I think that's a great point. It's something we can consider for 2026. But like I said, next year we have, or in the next few weeks, we have a video with our local cat dealer servicing a D6 dozer that was broken, busted a track. We went out and fixed it. When I say we, the technician did all the work. I just stood around and made dumb jokes and comments like I always do. But we are trying to show more of the maintenance side of these big machines, because yes, the big machines are awesome, sexy. I love them. There's nothing cooler than a big excavator moving dirt, 50 yards at a time. But there's a ton of work that goes into each one of these machines, making them swing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we are working on some of those projects as well. More on the mom and pop companies that keep the dirt world moving. I think that's a great concept too. We have done some smaller companies in the past. We will do some smaller companies in 26. If you want to hear about small companies though, and stories that it took to get small earth moving companies started, check out the podcast Dirt Talk. It's on Spotify and iTunes. I interview a ton of small earthwork business owners in America. And I have hundreds of interviews on there from a lot of people that have started with nothing more than a pickup truck. And that's why I love the dirt world, especially in the United States. I know we have a lot of international viewers, but in the States, there's something called the American dream. And unfortunately, the American dream is dead in a lot of ways, in a lot of places. But in civil construction and earth moving in the dirt world, as we call it, it's still alive and well. Anybody, no matter your background, no matter who your parents are, no matter what your education status is, can go get a shovel and a pickup truck, become a contractor, and end up building, a business worth hundreds of millions of dollars, doing billions of dollars of work, employing hundreds, thousands of people. I've seen this many times over. And I think that's one of the most extraordinary things about the dirt world. It's really special, and it's just about hard work. It's just about the merit of what you do. No one cares. It's a meritocracy. The harder you work, the more you do, the more you'll get. Thanks for sharing the story. What's the best marketing platform in terms of ROI? I'm just going to keep answering questions here as long as they come in, and then we can wrap it up. I have all morning, nothing better to do but work and sit on YouTube. My favorite platform. So we're on Instagram, YouTube, obviously. We have the podcast, Facebook, dabble with TikTok. Still haven't figured that one out. I think I'm a little old for that, 30. I'm not one of the youths anymore. And LinkedIn. And from a business standpoint, LinkedIn is by far my favorite. And so if you are somebody looking to get ahead in your career, LinkedIn is hands down the most valuable place to be. And LinkedIn is actually how I get access to most of these sites. I message a lot of people directly on LinkedIn, a lot of industry leaders. Hey, can I come out here? Can I see this? I'll just send them a direct message. And there's a lot of videos that have happened solely because of LinkedIn, solely because of them following me on LinkedIn, me sending a connection request, me sending a message. That's where decision makers live. They are on YouTube here. They are on Facebook. They are on Instagram. But LinkedIn is a powerhouse. I've invested there since I began when I was 23. Now I have one of the biggest followings on LinkedIn of anybody in construction in the world. And I'm going to keep doubling down on LinkedIn because, again, it gives us better and better access over the years. And for anybody, you don't just have to be a business owner. If you want a new job, if you want to lead more effectively, it's oftentimes about who you know, and LinkedIn is the fastest way to get in touch with those that you should know. So I would highly recommend being on LinkedIn if you aren't, no matter what your position is. That's why back in the day too, I didn't start sharing on social media to go inspire the next generation to join the trades of the dirt world. It was self-serving when I was beginning. I started sharing on social media because I wanted to build a personal brand. I'd listened to some business podcasts, Andy Frisella in particular. He was talking about how valuable brand would be. And if my brand was bigger, I would be more valuable to companies and to employers, future state. So that's why I started sharing on social media and sharing construction, because that was the unique story I could tell. That was the brand I could build. And hopefully down the road, more employment opportunities would come my way. Now, obviously, it went a totally different direction, but it still remains true. The bigger my brand, the better off the business will be, the better off I'll be, the more effective I'll be, the better I'll be able to influence people to accomplish what we want to, which again is building the dirt world's next generation. Are you ever interested in visiting Indian mines? Yes, we are talking with a group now to potentially go out to India next year. The problem now is not opportunities. When I was beginning, it was hard to go see even a skid steer working on a driveway project. Now we have access to some of the biggest operations in the world. Um, it's not lack of opportunities. It's now too many opportunities and time. Just the travel alone to somewhere like India is just a lot of time and energy and effort. And I can only dedicate that much effort to trips, to so many trips throughout the year. So I am still looking into new areas that I haven't been to, like India, like Africa, like other parts of South America. But I'm also spending more time on places I've been able to develop relationships with, like this coming year, Japan, Australia, of course, Europe, Canada. Some of the countries we've already been to are a little easier to navigate because I know who to talk to. I know what companies are where. I understand the culture a little bit more. So going forward, it's a balance of going back to where we've already been and then going to new places. Um, Also would love to see more typical civil construction projects that more of us can relate to. Yes. Yeah. We're again looking at how to do that in 2026. I know there's a ton of work happening in Chicago. We have a great relationship with a company, paving company up there, Builders Asphalt. Great relationship with a lot of contractors up there, actually. Um, it's just a matter of finding the right projects and creating a compelling story. We're getting better at that. I like the big stuff. I like the big sexy stuff. But yes, smaller projects, smaller contractors. We have a lot of great relationships in 2026. We should have more of that coming. I think it's a great idea. Would be cool to see a collaboration with Tilcon, biggest aggregate companies here in Connecticut. Yes, I've spoken with Tilcon a lot, actually. I believe I might be wrong, but I believe they're CRH. Um, we're working with them on the training front. I was hoping they would come to Dirt World this year. They didn't make it to our annual event, but I know who they are. We've talked with them quite a bit, and we're looking at opportunities there. Is there any video I think that will be the best of our videos? Might be this question. I'm going to take it that way. I'm a little confused as to what it is, but after this live stream, I'm actually working on a best of 2025, recapping some of my favorite trips and trying to put it together in a creative way. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully, before the end of the year, we'll have a best of video, which I'm really excited about, focused on 25 before we go into 26, with a totally new way of doing things. Very excited about it. I'm looking forward to your Africa visits. Yes, I am so excited to get out to Africa. Yes, CRH. Thank you both. It is CRH. I just spoke with CRH this week, actually. We have a project going on with them as we speak, training. We're producing training videos for CRH. So hopefully there'll be a lot more of CRH in the future. It's already been going great. Really excited about that. WW Clyde as well. Randy, who is CEO of BuildWitt, he runs the company and runs the software side of the business. He actually sold his company to WW Clyde in 2020. That's how I got in touch with him. It was blunt contracting. He sold to WW Clyde. He went to work for then the Clyde companies, and he worked for them for quite a few years. Hopefully, we'll have an opportunity to make some videos with them as well. We know them very well. Hi from Norway. Hopefully Norway is coming in 26. I've always wanted to go to Norway. We were hoping to go up there this past year. Didn't work out, but hopefully next year. Guyana, tons of contracts. Yes, I've also heard about Guyana. It's crazy. The dirt world is anywhere people are, and people are all over the world. There's projects everywhere. It's incredible. The more I look, the more there is to see. And again, it's a matter of time and energy. I can only put my time and energy into what will be great content. And that's where we're trying to focus this next year is a great video that we're very proud of, that we're very excited about every week. That's the goal. Tilcon is originally from England. What? No way. I run a 14M for Clyde. Yeah, I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. So WW Clyde in Arizona was blunt contracting, and then they've grown in Arizona since. So I'm very familiar with Clyde. And then up into Utah, we do a lot of work with Wheeler Machinery. They've been a great partner of ours for our business. And obviously Clyde is one of Wheeler's biggest customers. You for sure make great content. I've watched every video. Big time. Really appreciate it. Love having you guys along for the ride. That's why we do it. Again, our channel's a little different. We're not traditional YouTubers. This isn't the primary income stream. This is to support a greater business trying to make a difference in the world. And so the people that watch them, that engage with them, that write comments, that follow along, not just here, but on our other social channels, it goes a long way. That's what it's about. It's about, first and foremost, the people already doing the work. I want those like you running a 14M. I want you to be reminded how valuable what you do is. It really makes a difference in the world. And yes, running a blade can be pretty mundane at times. It can be a little bit of a hamster wheel, same thing every day, or you can run into this problem, or this guy sucks, or weather, whatever it is. I'm not working this week. I don't know. It's a grind. It's a hard industry. It's a hard line of work, but it's essential. Without the people in the field making it happen, nothing in society would happen. So first and foremost, our videos are for the people out in the field to remind you why what you do is so important, and then hopefully to give you the ability to share with your families what it is that you do, because historically there hasn't been storytelling within this world until that started to change a few years ago. And that's a shame, because it's really important that not only you, but your family understands what the heck that you do. Because if there is to be a next generation, we've got to tell people what it is that we do. So first and foremost, our videos are for the people already in the field to, again, remind them why they do what they do. And then two, it's to hopefully inspire the next generation, draw people in to choose this as a career. Because yes, it's hard, but it's really fulfilling, and it's absolutely necessary no matter what the future holds. You need to do this yourself instead of working for the man. Maybe he's talking about being a blade hand. There's pros and cons to being an owner operator. Being an owner operator is great. You're your own boss, but you also eat what you kill. And sometimes it's pretty hard to kill because you're working all the time. So you're not just working, but now you're having to find work on top of working. So now you're working more hours. Now there's more stress. Now, when the machine breaks, it's on you to fix. So sure, there's a freedom associated with it, but I counsel a lot of people to find a great company and to stick with that great company. And if your company sucks, go to another company, try something else, find a great one. That's oftentimes a much better opportunity and a better lifestyle than being an owner operator or working for yourself. There's a lot of people that have gotten into this line of work because there is a low barrier to entry to go work for themselves, but they're pretty miserable because it's a lot of stress. It's a huge grind. You're working more than ever before. If it is for you, awesome. But most everybody is best off finding a great company like Clyde, working for them, dedicating themselves to that company, dedicating themselves to them, building their skills, developing themselves as a leader. And if you do that for, a number of years, you're going to be in a great spot. Do companies pay us to come out? No. We go wherever we want to go. Um, so nothing is a paid endorsement. I stay away from that. We've had a few of those, honestly, but they've always turned out to be a mess. Um, I don't like having to deliver a product that someone else wants. When someone pays you for a video, there's expectations there. You have to do it their way. I don't want to do it their way. That's not always served me well, but it has gotten me here, and I'm going to keep going in that direction. I'm going to do things my way and tell stories that I want to tell in the way I want to tell them. Um, so when you involve money coming in and people paying you, again, that starts to erode your creative freedom and your ability to just tell the story as is, and to keep it pure. That's what we're after. Hopefully you see that in our videos. There's no nonsense. That's why a lot of them don't work out all that well, because it's not perfect. The construction and mining industries are schedules change, weather, delays, etc. It's an imperfect industry. Um, where we do make money, we make ad revenue on YouTube. So all of you watching, looking at the ads, it does help finance everything. Every once in a while, companies will pay like our airfare, our travel. They'll host us, which is great. So there's no money exchanged, but there's no cost to us. And then after the fact, every once in a while, we will license the photo and video content that we create. I'm always taking photos. If you've seen the videos, oftentimes I have a camera in my hand. That's because I'm still capturing photos as we travel. I have now probably the largest library of construction and mining photography in the world. So I'm capturing photos, and then I have, like I said, two guys with me capturing video content that the company can use for marketing or promotion, as well as our YouTube video. And we'll license it to them for a fixed rate. It's not a huge amount of money, but that also helps cover our costs. Our goal is really to just, if we can cover our costs, if we can operate cost neutral, it's a huge benefit. Because again, we're not a traditional YouTube channel. I'm not a traditional influencer. I'm not making my money based on um, like contracts with brands so that I can, buy this, buy this, buy this. That's not how I make my money. And it gives us creative freedom that a lot of other people don't have. How do you feel about union versus non-union? It just depends on the area. If the union's strong in your area, go with the union. If they're not strong, don't go union. It's such a weird us versus them argument that I think does no one a disservice. There's great union companies, there's great non-union companies, and to think one is better than the other everywhere doesn't make any sense at all. That's not reality. Both can be great in different ways in different areas. I grew up in Arizona. Everything was non-union. I never worked at union companies, but I know a lot of people that do. We support a lot of union companies that are absolutely amazing. They're great operators. They're great foremen. They're great businesses. They do great work. There's a lot of non-union companies that we work with that are great businesses, great operators, do great work. I'm not really interested in us versus them arguments, even college versus no college. It's just like, who cares? It doesn't matter. What matters is people coming to the dirt world. So if you don't want to go to college, don't go to college. If you want to go to college, and then come to the dirt world. It's better here This is what we need to do. We need to build, we need to create. How you get here, what you do within this world, I don't really care about. And so the us versus then arguments, or the field versus office, or it's all just nonsense. It's all a distraction. We're all on the same team. We're all just trying to build stuff to keep society going, and that's my only focus. Are you related to BuildWitt? Zero. I did work for BuildWitt though. I did drilling and blasting for BuildWitt in 2016, which was a lot of fun. Still one of the best contractors I've ever seen. Unfortunately, they don't let us come see their projects. And I'm a little sore. That's a sore subject. Curious to see the 798 AC again. Yes, that was another visit I had to put off this year. We were supposed to be going to Chile again to see that big truck package get delivered to Escondida. Unfortunately, had to push that one off, but hopefully we'll be back to Chile to see. It's now the world's biggest 798 truck package. Over 150 trucks now running at Escondida, which is the world's largest copper mine. So absolutely extraordinary. Worked at the SLC copper mine. That's Rio Tinto. Great work, sir. We've been there a few times. Really amazing place. Amazing people. Rio, they're a massive mining company, but they've been so good to us. The mining companies are very difficult to deal with, especially in America. People think I have access everywhere. There's still huge regions that I can't even touch, like the Powder River Basin, the coal mines in Wyoming, the iron ore mines up in Minnesota. Most of mining, the copper mines out in Arizona, honestly, most mining is completely out of touch for us. The mining companies want nothing to do with what we have to offer. But Rio Tinto has gone above and beyond to give us access to operations now around the world. We have another video coming soon showing their bauxite mining operations. And it's really, really amazing. I give them a ton of credit for the access they've given us, because they don't need to give it to us, but they have. And it's been an awesome relationship. Haven't heard one single word about the world's tallest building, the Jeddah Tower. I've actually seen it. I've been to Jeddah 3 times now, and I've only seen it in the distance. Buildings, they just don't get me going like infrastructure does. I don't know why. I can appreciate them. I respect them. I respect those that build buildings. But to me, once it starts coming out of the ground, I love foundations. Foundations is amazing. But once it starts coming out of the ground, it's just not my thing. And there's some great channels that cover buildings like that on YouTube. That's something we won't ever do. We just want to focus on infrastructure, on mining, because that's what excites me. And I just want to cover what excites me. I don't want to go visit companies or projects because they're paying us or whatever, because I have to. Everything we go see is something I want to go see, which I hope is apparent. And I'm trying to do better as a presenter to bring you all along in my excitement, because I'm really excited about what we get to go see. It's amazing. It's awesome. I'm so happy to do what I do, and I want to keep it that way. As soon as it becomes a chore, then it's just a grind, because the travel we have to do, the people, the hoops we got to jump through, the approvals, like, it would be a huge chore if I didn't like it, if I wasn't absolutely in love with it. And that's why it's really important for me to stay within the realm that I love, which is, again, infrastructure and resources. If it goes too far outside of that world, I'm just not as excited about it. Have you been to Norway? No, I just talked about Norway. Hopefully next year. Would love to get up to Norway. I've always wanted to go. Slip form, curb paving. Yeah, I would love to see it. We've seen it quite a few times. It's an awesome technology. 25,000 feet. It's a lot of curb to put in the ground. Fortunately, you've got that slip form machine. Hopefully, it works out well for you. I worked for local 478 in Connecticut for 40 years and now retired. I operated dozers, loaders, excavators, and paving machines. Thanks for making it happen. Again, people like you, that's why we do what we do, to hopefully give you some of the credit that you should deserve along the way. So thanks for making it happen for far longer than I've been alive. I'm sure there's you'll know more about construction. You'll forgotten more about construction than I'll ever know. And again, really appreciate guys like you, and hopefully what we're doing can bring in the next generation to build upon the legacy that you've created along the way. Trying to figure out the word for it, maybe political green energy issues, or why the mining industry doesn't want anything filmed. Um, for Yeah, the green thing in mining is very tricky. All of them, because of how financing works nowadays, are being forced to be quote unquote green. But the reality is, you've got to dig stuff out of the ground to enable modern life. And I cannot stand language that doesn't say that. There's a lot of mining companies out there. You can't even tell what they do. It's like, is all you do, guys, just look at flowers all day? No, you use shovels, use explosives to extract critical, essential resources from the ground to support society. Say that. Say that. Because that's what we need. We need copper, we need steel, we need coal, we need everything right now to build a better future. I'm a very big believer in that. I think a lot of people that are against that, they've never been around mining. They've never really traveled the world. They don't know how the world works. I've seen how the world works. It works on resources. It works on energy, and without that, there's no life for anybody. And that's what we're trying to tell. Is we're trying to tell that story because I'm tired of mining not standing up for itself. I think it's a huge shame that mining has just been hostage to environmental groups and honestly to lawyers is what it comes down to. They've been held hostage by lawyers and governments who are full of lawyers for decades now. And it has to stop because it's against the future. It's against humanity. And even if you want to go 100% green energy, it requires more mining than ever. So there's no future that's better without mining. And we're at least trying to be a voice for the mining industry. And it sucks because there's so many people in mining that are just down about what they do because they're told that they're the villain when they're supporting the whole world. To me, that's just not right. To me, that's not fair. And that's why I'm so passionate about telling that mining story, is because those people, they deserve all the credit in the world for keeping the world moving, and yet they get almost none. Even worse, they get ostracized and criticized for their work, saying they're destroying the world as they're the ones supporting it. Come to Collins Earthworks. I visited with Collins once, 2 years ago, maybe 18 months ago. But it was a weird in between, and we didn't have a lot of time. We only had one day. So unfortunately, we didn't put a video together, but we did get to see Collins a little bit. Hopefully, we'll be back to England maybe this coming year. So I think that's it for the chat. We're at nearly 50 minutes. Maybe I should get on with my day. I enjoyed this. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the questions. Hopefully this provided some context as far as what the heck's going on behind the scenes. We're working harder than ever on these videos. I've never put more time into anything but these damn videos. And into 2026, I hope that's apparent. We're working hard. We have some great people willing to have us out on these sites. Great access now. We have a great team. We have people following along like you all. I'm really, really happy with where we're going, and I hope you can enjoy it along the way. And hopefully, we'll be able to get more of these live streams going. Maybe this will be a regular thing. If you enjoy it, let me know in the comments, and we'll see you on the next one. Stay dirty, everybody.